Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. And today, we're being joined by Aaron Walker, author of View from the Top, Living a Life of Significance. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Hey, Paul. Thanks for having me on today.
Well, we are thrilled to have you. Are you ready to begin?
I am ready.
All right. Question number one. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
Yeah, just be very clear on the action step of the book. Where are you directing people? Is it something that's just a biography about yourself, or is it something that you want them to do? They need to know what the clear call to action is once they read your book.
Absolutely. And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
You know, I didn't really understand the initial phase of contacting a publisher and how extensive your platform was and the value of your social media connections, LinkedIn, Facebook, your reach, the people that were in your sphere of influence really had a larger bearing than I totally recognized initially.
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you have used in your book launch that has worked well.
Yeah, what really worked well for me was calling companies that had multiple employees and being willing to do a coaching session for their lead team if they would buy a certain amount of books. And they were happy to do that because my coaching prices were pretty hefty at the time, and they knew they were getting great value, and then it gave them something to give to all their employees. So just a strategy of simply giving away coaching engagements for them buying large quantities of books in the beginning.
So how large of the quantities did they have to purchase?
Yeah, 100 books at a time.
That's ingenious. So that way you've got total lead generation, you're passing those out, you're doing the training. How long was the trainings that you were doing for them?
Well, it varied depending on how many books they bought and how large their lead team was. And so it could be one coaching session up to half a dozen coaching sessions, just depending on how many books. And I sold a lot of books doing that.
Now, were you doing these coaching sessions virtually, in person? How was that done?
Yes, all virtually. Everything I do is virtually.
Nice. And was it done via video or just audio?
Video.
Excellent. Well, speaking of books, I'd like to know what is your favorite book and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
Yeah, I think my friend Rabbi Daniel Lapin really did a great job with Thou Shalt Prosper and really understanding the significance and the value that we place on resources.
Excellent. And for a final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
Yeah, I would say fear missing an opportunity more than you fear of failure. A lot of people are hung up and don't get started because they're afraid to fail. And I say, hey, I'm afraid I'm going to miss an opportunity more than I fear failure. And it allows me to start and stay with it.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to take the plunge. Well, Aaron, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. What is the best way for people to find you online?
Yeah, the easiest way is to go to viewfromthetop.com. We make ourselves very accessible, and I would love to have interaction with you. So go to viewfromthetop.com.
Aaron, thank you once again for being on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
Thanks, Paul. We'll see you, buddy.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how to get your book published with a proven system that works, grab a free copy of my book at getpublishedpodcast.com.